Shroud's minions are everywhere. Take cover!
I'm scared! Oh my!
Who goes there?
Your king!
All you need is within you.
This is the best adventure ever!
How are you?
I'm doing great, man. I'm excited to speak to you today about your film, The Secret Kingdom. Boy, it brought back so many memories. I'm Generation X, so it brought back memories of
Me too.
Never-Ending Story and Labyrinth and all those great fantasy films. And boy, you just really captured the spirit of those films.
Oh, well, thank you very much. I appreciate that.
And when writing a fantasy like this, is your imagination the limit? Did you ever worry like, how can I pull this off?
I did initially because I wasn't sure about how the technology was going to perform. And it's a new technology for me. And I mean, I suppose there was a big paradigm shift in this technology from the outset, because this is not the way that films have been made traditionally. So I've got a background of visual effects I've been doing this for 30 years. And I kept looking at games and going, why can they do all this amazing, cool stuff in real time? And I've still got to rely on a warehouse full of computers that, need cooling and 24-hour attendance to make a single frame happen. So I started looking into the game engine technology, and it was the right time, because as I started looking into it, it wasn't quite there, but within 3 months of me starting to actually try to employ this in a visual effects sense, they came up with some incredible new technology that basically allowed it to become possible. And so therefore, I knew as I was writing the script that it could be done. And yeah, I was excited. Yes. So the answer to a very long-winded answer there, the short answer is yes, the imagination is the only limit.
Was there a sequence or a visual effects shot that was the most challenging for you in the making of the film?
Funny enough, the thing that I first saw in my head was the sequence of the kids falling through the floor and onto the bed and then being pushed through the tunnels. And so that's the one I sort of attacked the first, just because visually I found that exciting and new and interesting to look at. And it also presented some unique challenges across the visual effects that would encompass pretty much all of the things that I would come across in the entire film. So it was all the animals, it was all the secondary physics effects, the sparks, the collapsing of bridges, all the big rock, explosions, the character of the shroud, which is the tendrils of chains and things like that. So basically it covered the full gamut of everything that I was going to need to actually tackle throughout the entire film.
Yeah, as someone who's worked in visual effects for many years, has the industry improved? Because last time we had a big controversy, they were sending all the work overseas. Studios were dismantling their own visual effects houses here in the US. Have they gotten more respect or any progress since, there was a big outcry of how they were treated?
I don't think so. I don't personally know. I mean, because I now tend to be working in the visual effects capacity on my own productions, I probably do abuse myself too much and push myself well too hard. I can't speak to the industry at large. I do know that it is now facing some very, very big technological challenges. I think in the next, I'd say 3 to 5 years, we're going to be looking at AI doing some very heavy lifting amongst that side of production. I mean, it's already being employed in various areas of production in terms of music and color grading and those kind of areas. But now, obviously, with the advent of the new stuff, you're going to see it take over whole sections of the process.
You must have incredible patience writing a family adventure film like this. Tell me about finding your two leads, Sam and Alea. They carried this movie, and considering all the special
Yeah.
effects in this, I mean, the maturity level must have been remarkable about these actors.
Oh, look, for two young people, they had incredible craft. We cast Australia wide, and I mean, Alila was an absolute standout, and she's obviously gone on to do some very high profile things. She's been in Nine Perfect Strangers with Nicole Kidman. She's in the Flowers of Alice Hart with Sigourney Weaver. She's got some other big projects that they're going to announce. So her star is definitely on the rise. But I could see that. So I mean, I'm very, very happy to have had her on board as her debut in a feature film. So, but at 9, she kind of blew me away with her craft. I mean, there was one time where there's a very emotional scene, and she was there. I came in, she's staring at the light, and I'm like, "Hey, child of the corn, come away from the light." She goes, "No, I'm preparing myself to cry," and that was part of her craft. I'm like, "Wow, you've really got some skill behind you." And of course, Sam, he really does an incredible job on this, and he was somebody I actually came across outside of the casting mix, and I actually insisted on them bringing him in, and because part of the casting process is pairing the kids up and making sure that there's they have a good chemistry between them, and he just I just knew as soon as he came in and read with Delilah that was it. He had all of the craft, but he also had a bit of that look that was reminiscent of some of the films that I grew up with as well. So, they say write what you know, and these kids they embody what I know.
And with such a special effects laden film, so heavy, did you have tricks of the trade, get the kids to react to effects that were going to be put in later? Or we hear famous stories about tennis balls on poles, to look at and stuff like that. Did you have any tricks?
Look, I mean, we had some projection on set, which helped a lot, which some of that actually made it into the final film. So we were actually able to have the children sort of immerse themselves in an environment. We had two big screens and short throw projection systems up, and they could actually see what was happening on screen, and it helped them to get into the world a bit when it came to actually working out eye lines for the characters and things like that. As a visual effects artist, you don't want to put things into frame that you're going to have to paint out later if you can help it. So many times we'd give them eye lines because we're in a studio. We're able to use a laser pointer to pick points on the wall that would converge for the both of them on a particular point. So Alay would be looking at that part of the wall, and Sam would be looking at that part of the wall, and so together it looked like they were looking at pling. So we had to work out some things here and there, but they were just brilliant at it too. Alila really played up that whole thing. I mean, I think kids just have an innate skill at being imaginative. They haven't had life kind of smack it out of them,
I'm telling you, Matt, this movie is so impressive on an emotional level, on a special effects level, adventure, storytelling. Are you ready if Hollywood comes calling? What if I saw this and I was an executive? I go, give me Matt Drummond on the phone right now. What if they come calling and say, we want you to helm, one of the next big budget special effects films? Will you be ready?
I'm certainly ready. Absolutely. If that was to eventuate, the thing that we've got our eye on now is taking this to a series. So that's the thing that excites me. We have a brilliant production pipeline now that's been set up, and I think a lot of the investment in this film was the investment in time and getting that technological pipeline together. So now, I mean, we've got a TikTok channel where we've been promoting things, and I was actually able to say to the lead, Pangolin, Darius Williams, can we get you interviewing Pling? I'd like you to interview your own character. And he was able to do that and send it to us, and we were able to kick that out in about 90 minutes. Like, we have an incredible pipeline now to be able to do this stuff, and it's just a lot of fun. So there's been many cases where we're doing interviews with the UK, so they're doing an exclusive look at the trailer in the UK, and we can get Pling to actually address the host on the show and things like that. And it's great. It opens up so many possibilities for
So
us.
remarkable, man. Well, congratulations on an incredible effort and a great film. And if it becomes a series, man, you better promise to talk to me again, because you're going to blow up with this film. I know you are. So
Oh, thank you very much. I really appreciate that. I'm glad it resonated with you. That's excellent.
it did. Congratulations, and let's talk again soon. Thank you so much.
Okay, thanks a lot.